do. Thank you so much. Well, cool. So you just got stem cells.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. How does that feel? I mean, is that something where a month ago, if someone said, hey, you should get stem cells, or would you even know what that meant? Or because we kind of don't even really know what stem cells are when we're going through high school and college education, you know?
Yeah. I would say I didn't know about stem cells until Ron Pistino, who did his research, told me about it. Then I did a little bit of research on my own through podcasts and YouTube and Dr. Joy Kong's videos online, which was enough for me to get through, like, this is something good, it's going to help your body, and, you know, the benefits from it, which hopefully I'm going to see a lifestyle change for the better after having the stem cells, even if it's in the smallest amount of my quality of life improving, then it's worth it. If it's going to be something greater than that, then I'm grateful and I'll do it again.
Yeah. I think because I actually had an injury, blunt force trauma, and I remember thinking, like, this might do something, it might not, who knows, but I'm going to give it a chance, because my expectations for what I could do mobility-wise, just not being able to walk as much, because the injury was so painful, I thought, well, if it gets just a little bit better, and then, and during my treatments, it was something where it blew my mind about how quickly it was, because it was, you know, for 9 months of pain, and then 2 months later I was able to walk and jog and dance, and something that I had been turning down going hiking with friends for so long, for 9 months. So yeah, if it just, for you, obviously my feet are a bit different than lungs is your main focus, right?
Yeah.
And so it is going to be something that's be interesting to see, especially because you don't just get one treatment. You get 3 treatments, which is just nuts. And I heard a lot of times it might be after the second one or after the first one you feel the big effects, but that's something that'd be neat to, I bet right now you'll have more body awareness than you ever had before, because you're sort of checking things, and you might notice things that you never noticed before too.
Yeah.
And, that's gonna be something interesting. And then, like, why did you want changes? Like, what sort of things? Like, because for me, I couldn't even go to Costco without having just a lot of pain and frustration, and just like this sucks, I don't want to be doing this anymore, you know. I couldn't go, if my nieces and nephews were in the other room of my sister's, you know, big sprawled out house in Indiana, I didn't want to go to the other room and then forget my phone or whatever I needed to, and have to go back. It was just, I didn't want to have to, like, make a walk for 15 feet and then come back without having to plan ahead my day. So were you having issues with, like you said, I think you said off camera, you're taking your kids upstairs to bed? Or
yeah, like carrying my daughter upstairs, I'd be a little gassed from, you know, carrying her. Granted, she's old enough to walk up the stairs, but I'm gonna carry her anyways at bedtime. But
Is she 5 years old or 20 years old?
She's 9 years old, so, like,
9, okay.
yeah, she'd, you know, pretend sleep, and then I'd have to bring her upstairs. But then I'd get to the top and I'd be gassed, or I'd be working downstairs and I'd walk up the basement, walk up the first floor to the second floor, and my wife's working and she's like, why are you out of breath? I'm like, I just came from the basement. But going from my everyday normal to what I'm at now is 2 completely different things. Like, I would, you know, I'm not a huge running fan, but I'd run 2 miles and then I would do a kind of a CrossFit style workout. Now I run a half mile and my O2 levels drop to the high 80s, which is not, you know, so my whole lifestyle of, 1, not working now, 2, like, I have to be able to perform at a certain level as a police officer. So if my O2 levels aren't there, then you can't be a cop. So I'm just looking for, I mean, besides going back to work, getting healthy is my first goal.
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
like get back to something where I feel good constantly.
Because it's been a big contrast from what you used to be able to do to what your status is. And have you seen any change and improvement from other things that you've done?
I have noticed with some diet changes, I've noticed less inflammation, more flexibility, feeling better, more energy with getting rid of certain foods like gluten, dairy, sugar is a main high acidity, inflammation, and all that. So you get rid of that, you feel better. typically sometimes you would like detox for a couple days where, you know, if you have a lot of that in your system and you stop doing it, you're going to feel like crap before you feel better. But that's your body detoxing. So it's
getting used to
a
this
good signal.
unfamiliar. Yeah.
And then once you're through it, I always say like a 2-week mark is where you could feel really good and get, you know, all you can out of the nutritious foods. And
Yeah, it's not a magic pill that we take. I think the magic pill is knowing that we have agency, we can do something about it, and then finding out through reliable, trustworthy sources something that works for someone else, and then see if it works in your own body.
I agree. Excuse me.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
Well, that's neat. It's such a neat to be a part of this, to just witness your kind of like, I mean, I was there for the first Zoom call.
Yeah, that was amazing.
You know, I mean, it's kind of like if someone saw you crying and like, or, you know, it was like, why did you bad news? Like, no, it's really good news. You know?
Yeah. It's something I didn't expect. I mean, it was something you don't expect, somebody to step up and like pay for a treatment that, you know, some people don't have the opportunity to get. So that's what, you know, they're going to look forward to do that. And I think with us as a nonprofit, we're going to do the same thing to try and help more people with stem cells.
And hopefully by the time your daughter, who's 9 years old, is 19 years old, this will be something that's, you know, well known, covered by insurance, and just, you know, accessible to us all.
Yeah.
That's so neat.
I know, it's awesome.
That's pretty cool. And what is your job? Is it cop or?
Yeah, police.
What do you do?
On the SWAT team, and I was on the horses, and I've been out of work for a year, so hopefully.
I'm trying to get an idea for how much mobility you need. Like,
yeah, I mean, being a cop is a city police officer is active at times.
You need those bursts of energy. And
Yeah.
Goodness. Well, if you had to run a 5K right now, what do you think your time would be?
Well, right now, I feel like my average time before, even with the lung removal, like 36 minutes. Right now would probably be more like 42 or something. I don't know. I could find I know my body where like I know my threshold of like where I could keep a constant, where that's like when I cycle, I know how long I could go, how far I could ride.
100 miles. How long would you do a 100
probably,
mile cycle?
I don't know. There's a lot of stops when we do the 100 miles for the charity ride, but probably be 7 hours. I don't know, anywhere between 6 to 8, depending on those stops. Because with the charity rides, every 20 miles or so, there's a stop. But typically, I would do 30 miles in like 2 hours.
Nice.
With a lot of hills and 3,000 feet of elevation or so.
What do your kids think about you coming out to California to get treatment?
I think they were on the Zoom call, so they were a little confused at what was going on. And then once they got like, Dad's gonna get better, then they're just like, upset that I'm leaving for 4 days to go get treatment. But they're like, oh no, like you can go, like it's okay, you're gonna get better.
Worth the sacrifice for sure. That's so neat. Well, cool. Well, and also you got these this Thin Blue ride. You started that there. How long ago did that start?
So we did that. Started as a cycling team in 2015 for Dana-Farber Cancer Institute. That was our team name that I came up with. It was my first year ever riding a bike, and I got 3 of my friends to join. We raised $26,000 our first year for 4 people, and for having an organic fundraising. Like, we don't have people to be like, hey, we're going to cover your, so a lot of people get that with corporate jobs. These are all cops and family and friends that donated, and we made t-shirts and started selling them. So all the money we raised went to Dana-Farber Cancer Institute for cancer research, kids for presents in the pediatric unit during Christmas, iPads in the lobby and stuff like that.
That's a massive impact on people's lives.
So then after my treatments, I had about $25,000 in copays with good insurance, but I had 2 brain surgeries, 2 lung resections, 2 rounds of chemo, 2 rounds of radiation, 2 other surgeries. So, the copays add up with all the CT scans and the MRIs and the blood work. So basically, my friends had a benefit for me, raised money. I paid off bills because I was out of work. It helped Like money doesn't cure all, but it helps, right? So
Helps alleviate
Yeah.
some suffering. Yeah.
so we turned it into a 501c3. So now we raise money directly for families battling cancer, military veterans, first responders, and their kids, or immediate family members.
Helping others is a great way to help ourselves in a lot of ways. Like I have like a little cousins challenge I do with my nieces and nephews,
Yeah.
where they get $20 and they spend it, and then
Yeah.
they have to give someone else $20 to see what feels better, being generous. And I feel like when you put the attention on the other person, it really helps our own psychological health. Have you noticed like what sort of modalities you've used for your own psychological health to improve, like any sort of like breath work, meditation, or doing good things around the world obviously helps.
Yeah, so we started as a local nonprofit, like a lot of friends of friends, friends of family. I'd field a lot of phone calls like, hey, my uncle's sick, what should I do? And I'd give them, I had a lot of experience with cancer procedures, so a lot of people look to me as getting some, basic information. And then on top of that, we would help families directly, and it feels good helping people, obviously. You're just, it's, I try to teach my kids, being selfless, not selfish, and how it feels to help people. My daily routine, or try to have a daily routine of get up, work out, do some yoga, maybe if I can, meditate, which is huge. I think just being out of work isn't great, but the good part is I get to focus on the self-healing aspect of it, of eating clean meals, working out to my lower level of my new normal, which will hopefully get elevated.
Yeah, improving your baseline.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you've got a good baseline, got a good family behind it, good people you've met today,
it's
and
amazing.
You got a good direction you're heading.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I'll start you, baby. All right, cool.
Yeah.
And I'll send you all this
Thank
stuff too. It's hopefully interesting to put together. And these